Hey cousins, welcome to episode 1 of my Cousin's House podcast. I'm your host Tasha Basha, and today I'm going to talk about relationships with a narcissist. Woo woo woo, spooky, right? So have you ever dated an asshole, met someone who was perfect in the beginning, but turned out to be too good to be true? Felt like you were losing yourself slowly but surely, and everything was moving way too fast. Narcissist, a word that's used improperly and all too often these days for every little thing. Narcissist is like the go-to word these days. I mean, people feel like if they're treated bad, a person doesn't respond or behave in the way they see fit, or when a person is just an asshole, then that person is a narcissist, right? But an asshole and a narcissist can be the same thing, but not in every situation. An asshole can be a narcissist can be an asshole, but a person can be an asshole without being a narcissist, if you get what I'm saying. So every person who treats you bad or doesn't act the way you want them to isn't a narcissist. I mean, why the person just can't be, mean or immature, selfish, careless, or just simply lack the normal social skills to have a healthy relationship? Normal. So, what is a narcissist? According to the Oxford Dictionary, a narcissist is a person who has an excessive interest in or admiration of themselves. And today, with social media and the introduction of camera phones a decade back, narcissism is at an all-time high. Nearly everyone is looking for public validation. To look good, look fit, look rich, and look successful. It's no wonder the world is obsessed with how they look and how the world views them. So what happens in a relationship when you're with a narcissist? Whether it be a man or woman who you're dating, friendship, co-worker, boss, siblings, whoever, anyone can be a narcissist, and they can pretty much do what the narcissists do. So, to clarify things, what exactly makes a person be a narcissist? Like not what makes them be a narcissist, but what traits do they have? And this is a real thing. And there are said to be 9 traits that a person must have in order to be considered a narcissist. And what are those traits? Well, I'm going to tell you. So, the first trait I would say is excessive need for admiration. Like, they got to be the center of attention in every conversation, every event, even if it's a birthday party or a wedding or anything that's supposed to be significant for someone else. The narcissist will attempt to, be the center of attention, whether it be buying out the bar for everybody, spending a lot of money, or looking extremely attractive on purpose to steal a show away from whatever's going on at that moment. So yeah, one of the traits of being a narcissist is being extremely thirsty for attention and admiration. They try to dominate conversations to get admiration and attention. They don't like to be ignored. So that's one of the red flags of narcissism. Number 1, excessive need for admiration. Another trait, number 2 out of the 9 main traits of narcissism, is grandiosity. And that means when a person might have like a God complex or feel that they are extremely important in the world more than anybody else. And it's almost always exaggerated. Like they just have an inflated ego, inflated belief that they're more important. Even if this person has no talent, no money, no success, they still will have like extremely big ego and extremely like cocky, I'm better than you type of attitude. Um, and most of the time it's fantasies. It's not real. So, but in their mind is real. Like they feel like they're way more smarter than you. They look better than you. They're more successful than you. Everybody loves them and they can get whatever they want. But this is all, for the most part, a fantasy and it's actually, of course, a mental illness. Mentally unbalanced to believe that you're better than everybody in the whole world. And as if the world pretty much revolve around you. So the grandiosity is almost like they feel that people should worship them and like them and pretty much I don't know. You could say they feel superior. They feel superior to almost any and everybody. Even if the person, like I said, don't have anything better than anybody else, they still have a godlike complex and feel like they deserve special treatment. And it's crazy because with the 2 traits that I named, grandiosity and excessive need for admiration, these people will actually um, throw a hissy fit. They would actually, like a little kid, because uh, narcissists in a way are like little kids that never grew up for real mentally. So you will see them throwing hissy fits. You will see them like, go into a rage when they don't get the attention, admiration, or treatment that they feel like they deserve at any given time. And this would be a grown man or grown woman, or really, acting like a kid pretty much, like a full hissy fit. So, okay, a third trait is, I would say lack of empathy. Narcissists don't really care about, I'm gonna say they don't care. They don't have the ability to truly care about other people's emotional needs or what people go through in life that a normal, healthy person would have like empathy for, and care and cry and love on you and be there for and support you for. The narcissist doesn't really know how to be there for people. And if they do, it's most of the time it's an act. It's not real. And you will eventually the truth will come out that you'll see that the narcissist wasn't genuine with their quote unquote acts of empathy. And again, if they do show empathy, it's because they want to make themselves look good. So let me say that back again. Say it's a funeral. This person will try to make a show and like have the best suit, have the best limousine, try to buy as much as they can for the family. Or on the opposite, the narcissist might ruin the funeral and make it about them. So it's like it just depends on their state of mind or what type of narcissist they are. But I'll get into that on another episode, which will probably be episode 6 in November. Narcissism, let's get deeper episode. But right now, I'm trying to get into relationships. But right now, this is just a brief introduction to narcissism before I get, deeper on relationships and how people get fucked over by narcissists. But I'm still going through the 9 traits. So, yeah, lack of empathy. And one thing I learned in my experience with the whole lack of empathy thing is that narcissists learn how to fake care or fake have emotions by studying other people, whether it be people around them, people on television, and just like pretty much mimic what they see other people doing. So they'll cry, they'll hug you, they'll give you words of kindness and support. But most of the time, it's words that they heard other people saying, and it's not coming from the heart. It's just like a robot, a programmed robot who knows what to say at the right time. So that's something that a person will eventually see, that the narcissist doesn't have real feelings. And you be thinking like, wow, why she or why he not really rocking with me at a time where I really need them the most. Like, somebody passed away that's close to you or something like that. It's almost like the narcissist is not there for you like you felt like they should be. And not because, don't get me wrong, people have lives, people have things going on. Nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, there's no genuine care or concern from this person. And then you will see that, like, even with their own parents, sometimes you're like, wow, your mom and dad just died or whatever. And this person has no true feelings. And if so, they make it about them. They make themselves the victim. Like, you know, it's not about somebody can be sick in the hospital, somebody can be injured, anything. The narcissist is gonna make it about them somehow. Like, you know, you would think that they saying that they care about the person who's injured or hurt or whatever, but they're really gonna find a way to make it about them. But I'm not gonna go that deep into it. I'm just trying to get through these 9 traits so you can get deeper into narcissism and the fucked up things that they do. So yeah, narcissists are like robots. They don't have true feelings. They only copy what other people do. Now let's get into a fourth trait. Um, it says relationships that are superficial. They lack the connectivity to really bond with people and form a true relationship. It's almost as if, and this is true with a narcissist, I always say they have a bookshelf full of things that they collect. And that's with people, the narcissist might have a dial shelf. Like, you might have a man who has different dials on the shelf, which basically is different women with, different personalities and different things that he pretty much drain them for. Like, you might have a woman who's classy and well reserved, who don't take no shit. But you might have a woman who's, less classy, rough, argumentative, and like to fight. And he likes her because she's gonna get drama from her. So a narcissist will have a shelf full of different dolls or different toys that they pick and choose who to play with. But again, I don't want to go that deep into it right now. But for the most part, with their friendships, relationships, it's not used most of the time. It's not really real. It's almost like a vampire. They only be around people just to drain them of their energy and to make them feel good. Because narcissists, deep down inside, they're never happy. Even they can smile so hard, but they're never happy. So on the surface level, they put up a good front, but most of the time when they're dealing with people, whether it be family or friends, and if they're dealing with them on a deeper level, it's because either that person's a pushover, or the narcissist, they make the narcissist look good, or the narcissist needs them for something. They want to use them for something. So if you're not beneficial, you're not really gonna have a strong connection with the narcissist unless they can still, like I said, benefit from you in somehow, even if it's just dogging you out to make them look good, especially in public, especially around people. If they feel like they're smarter than you, they want to be around you to talk and make you look dumb. And this was just one example of the superficial things that narcissists do. But yeah, so that's the one. The fourth trait is they lack the ability to form real relationships with people. It's never real. Um, the fifth trait is they have difficulty with attachment and being dependent on people. They go by the response they get from people and the response of situations versus having their own thoughts about things. Um, they really have a hard time, like really truly being in love, because it's the same thing with empathy. They really only love you from the beginning, which I need to talk about that too. I'm gonna tell you exactly how a person gets caught up with a narcissist in their cycle, with the whole love thing. But a narcissist doesn't know how to love. They don't know how to um, be attached to somebody, which you would think that somebody being attached to you is a bad thing. But in some cases, people need to know how to attach to people, how to love people, how to, because how do you pick a partner without feeling like you have a strong bond with the person? And a narcissist is good for that in the beginning, but overall, they don't have the skills for a long term relationship. Like I said, whether it be friendship or relationships, they don't have that. That's another thing they lack: attachment skills. Um, Another trait is identity disturbance. Identity disturbance. It's almost like if somebody like myself or somebody who's strong minded and strong willed, who doesn't allow the narcissist to be a narcissist, who pretty much step on their toes, check them when they're wrong, tell them to stop being loud when they're being too loud, tell them to quit lying when they're lying, pretty much check them all the time. The identity disturbance pretty much shakes the narcissist up, and they will either it's almost like their fight or flight kicks in. They will either run away from you and get the fuck on, like they will get the fuck on if you check them about their bullshit. But like I said, it's fight or flight. They're gonna either run from you because they know that you see through their bullshit, or they're gonna want to like fight against you, whether it be like physically fight you or mentally like destroy you. They'll destroy your name, or they'll do anything they can to protect who they think they are, especially somebody challenging them. So identity disturbance. But I'm not gonna get that deep into it like I am right now until episode 6 about narcissism. Another trait is chronic feelings of emptiness and boredom. Narcissists are never really happy. They get excited by things very quickly, but it doesn't last long because it's almost like, you know, how can a person have enjoyment for something that they never really liked or appreciated in the first place? Because everything about them is pretty much a front. So they get bored easily. They can't really stick to their goals. It's just, they almost have like a autopilot for depression. And it's almost like they need people and things in an environment to get them pleasure. But most of that stuff never lasts long. So chronic feelings of emptiness and boredom is another trait. And I say chronic, that means like never ending, always. It's always there in their subconscious mind that they're not happy, and the depression and pretty much self-destruction almost. Okay. I would say another trait is, it says vulnerability to life transition. That means it's hard for them to actually stick to their goals. It's hard for them to, when life throws you lemons, bake lemonade, narcissists, it's hard for them to do that. I'm not saying that they can't, but it's extremely hard for them to do that. But on the surface level, on the outside looking in, you would think that the narcissist is strong, they have and resilient and they bounce back. But behind closed doors, and those close to the narcissist knows that it's not true. They're a fucking wreck. A fucking wreck. So narcissists, they have a hard time like sticking to goals and anything that has a lot of rules, like school and work. But this is not true for all narcissists. I'm just saying, like, unless they can dominate the situation or be manipulative in a situation or be quote unquote the best in situations, then they have a hard time with changes in life. But okay. And with that being said, another trait for narcissism is the significant risk of suicidal thoughts and suicidal attempts from the depression and unhappiness. So with these traits that I mentioned, doesn't it seem like a narcissist is extremely, extremely dangerous person? But how is it that they are so charming and people like them so much and so many people admire them, but only so few get to know the true monster inside of them? Well, let's go a little deeper now. Narcissists have the same. Narcissists have the same cycle, no matter who it is. For the most part, they love bomb you, and what does that mean? It's three parts. When I say it's three parts to the narcissistic cycle, they love bomb you, they devalue you, and they discourage you. So what that means is they make you feel good in the beginning. As time passes, they start nitpicking at your flaws or pointing out things about you that might not even be true, but they're gonna make pretty much put you down. And then eventually they're gonna discard you, which means ghost you, dog you out, dump you, throw you away, go MIA, or pretty much just break up with you. But when I say cycle, because the narcissist, if you allow them to, will come back again after some time pass. They will love bomb you again, which is basically making you feel good and all that kind of stuff. Love bomb you again. It's gonna be the same cycle to the point where you're gonna be fucked up in the head. You're gonna start questioning your own sanity. So let's go deeper into these traits of a narcissist to see, why does this keep happening to me? Or why can I leave this person? Why can I leave her? Why can I leave him? Okay, love bombing. Love bombing to me is like how the narcissist put their stamp on you, put their spell on you, right? Love bombing. That's actually a narcissistic terminology, which pretty much means when they meet you, they pretty much study you, or pretty much give you everything what they think you might need, tell you all the right words, make you feel like everything they say and do is just too perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Like, oh my God, she is the perfect woman. Or oh my God, he's the perfect man. But in reality, the narcissist is, as bad as they are with social skills, they are good at copying a person's needs and wants for their own manipulative pleasures. So, love bombing is almost like they put you under a spell, right? And you thinking to yourself, this is too good to be true. She can't be the one. He can't be the one. And this is as far as relationships. But even in friendships and even with your coworkers, it could be the same thing. You know, things start off so good and so perfect. But eventually, with the narcissist, part two of the cycle from love bombing is they devalue you. And what that means, they pretty much want to bring you down to your lowest. And they started slowly, slowly, slowly. But it depends. Some narcissists move quick. Some of them love bomb you and they move quick into devaluing you. But you might not notice it because they say fucked up things in a joking way. In a joking way in the beginning, like they're joking, they laugh about it or smile, like, I'm just playing, when you feel offended by what they say, when they start devaluing you, they make you feel crazy, like, oh, you can't take a joke? But really, they are pretty much slowly damaging your ego, damaging your self-worth and how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem. But it take a while for you to notice it because they still pretty much keep you on the hook and make you feel bad for them dogging you out, They might say things like, in the beginning, they might say things like, oh, it's fine, baby, you sexy. I don't mind stretch marks. I think it's beautiful for a woman to have stretch marks. That's a natural thing. And he compliments you. He might even rub the stretch marks. But when he felt like he got the foot in the door all the way with you, and he got you right where you want, he got you on the hook pretty much. He or she, this could be a woman too. When a narcissist feel like they pretty much quote unquote got you, they'll start devaluing you. The same thing they compliment you on be the same thing they put down. Ugh, you look so nasty with them stretch marks. Or a woman who says she likes a guy who's, short or whatever, she said that she liked in the beginning. She start dogging you out. Ugh, you too short for me. No one would want a short man or whatever it might be. They're going to put you down for the same things they compliment you on. Every little thing you working on, any little endeavor or life goals you working on, in the beginning they'll compliment you. Oh, I'll help you. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Oh, you do that? You work hard? Or you going to school or whatever it might be? they're going to end up saying, oh, that's a dumb job. Oh, you don't make enough money. Anybody can do that. Or they'll put it down pretty much, to make you feel bad. And it's crazy how they get inside your head to make you feel like you worthless. And that's why it's called devaluing, because they make you devalue yourself, right? And that's where the mind games come to, where it's like you almost feel sick and depressed. It's almost like you take on their true energy. Like you start feeling like sick, nauseated, confused, depressed, no energy. Like you just feel messed up in the head. And then when a narcissist know they got you at your lowest point, where it might not be your lowest point. It might just be like a point where you question everything about the relationship and just ready to pretty much like, I don't know, maybe beg for them to act right or pretty much leave. Boom, the narcissist ghosts you, disappears, or pretty much breaks up with you. And all that does is add fuel to the fire of the already confusion for them devaluing you. So then you wondering where they at, because they're not answering the phone. They pretty much ghosting you, making it hard to get in contact with them, or they break up with you without no explanation. And now you probably, because you're normal and they're not, you're probably crying, feeling sick, feeling depressed, feeling confused, something on an emotional level where it's like, well, damn, what happened? Some time might pass. It might be a couple of hours. It might be a couple of days, a couple of weeks, months. Like, hey, maybe in a whole year, you don't hear nothing from the narcissist. Or if you do hear something from them, it's them pretty much still making you feel like the breakup or the issue was your fault. So then you kissing their ass to trying to get back in again. But whatever the case might be, whether they truly ghost you or just string you along and make you beg for them back, eventually as time passes, the narcissist will be nice again. Because when they devalue you, they being mean, the narcissist will end up being nice again. Complimenting you, want to take you on a date, making you feel so fucking good. Because when narcissists love bombing you, it's almost like a drug. You ever see like somebody's Facebook or Instagram live where it's like a whole bunch of hearts, just heart, flood up the whole stream, whatever. That's what a narcissist does to you. They love bomb you with 1,000 million trillion hearts, make you feel all juiced up and like just in love, right? And the same thing, like I said, it could be friendship, it could be co-workers, boss, anybody, but especially when you dating or married or in love with a narcissist. This is what they do to you. So after they dump you or get rid of you, ghost you, whatever, they want you to feel good again, because a narcissist is pretty much the puppet master and you are the puppet. They want to manipulate you. They want to control your emotions. And I always tell people when dealing with a narcissist, it don't matter if you are responding to them in a positive way or responding to them in a negative way. You can cuss them out, go crazy, dog them out in a conversation. Let them have it. Read them for blood. But you might think that I'm going to let him have it or I'm going to let her have it. I'm going to give her a piece of my mind. But guess what? Any kind of emotions from a narcissist, towards a narcissist, is still attention to them. So if you going off on them, they love that because it's still attention. And if you praising them, of course, they love that too because it's still attention. So I always tell people, when you communicate with a narcissist, not to, don't do it. Just don't communicate with them because they looking for that attention from you, and that pretty much drains you. But yeah, so after all that, it's the same thing. Love bomb, devalue, discard, repeat. Love bomb, devalue, discard, repeat. And you will see people be married to somebody and the same thing keep happening over and over again. But what happens is the narcissist never changes, but the person that you are changes. Like you see yourself walking on eggshells around a narcissist, making sure you say the right words or make the right decisions, or, they pretty much change you. And it takes some time for you to realize like, oh my God, I'm not the same person anymore. And this is a real thing, right? Um, a narcissist, like I said, is like a vampire. They take the life out of you. Like, let me tell you about some of my experience dealing with narcissists. And let me tell you, even from a friendship point of view, I was friends with a female, and actually, our friendship didn't even last that long because in the very beginning, we was super cool, right? She's always complimenting me, telling me how nice I look, and how like she liked my vibes and how me and her get along good, this and the third. And honestly, we did click real good. But I mean, that could be with anybody with a narcissist. Like they are very charming. They want people to like them in the beginning. They are very charming. So it's easy to get sucked in. Even a person who is people smart, like myself, still can get sucked in, right? So she was super cool and everything like that. But I noticed as not even that long, as weeks passed, I noticed how much she like attention. Like when you go places, like she wanted attention to be on her. The conversation, she wanted to try to like dominate it and make it seem like, she know more people or she pretty much know more about it. And it's like, wow, this it's not that serious, but you notice that, especially when she has an audience, she will like show off more, try to talk a certain way and act a certain way. And also, when you first meet a narcissist and they tell you about their past relationships, even, it was just a friend. A friend will tell you about, well, I ain't really got that many friends because of this, because of that. And it's like, okay, red flag, because don't get me wrong, you don't have to have friends to be quote unquote normal, but come on now. If you always get into it with people, that's an issue. But this chick pretty much was talking about me behind my back, and I don't even know why, because like I'm just gonna say this: I'm better than her, and I'm not a narcissist. I'm just saying like I have more education than her. I have multiple businesses, multiple talents, multiple skills, but I'm the most cool, down to earth, regular person, loving, caring person, right? And she, on the other hand, was telling me stories about how she set dudes up. Uh, she was just scantless, and as more and more time passed, I'm like, oh, I need to be around this girl. And I end up having a conversation with somebody, and they was telling me some things that I pretty much confirmed. And it's like everywhere I was going, people was telling me like, you hang with her, you hang with her, you hang with her. I'm like, to myself, like, she cool though, like she cool with me, you know what I mean? But all of those things are red flags, because don't get me wrong, a person can have different interactions with somebody, but if everybody telling you something, it ain't nothing you want to ignore. You want to keep that in the back of your mind, because lo and behold, she did end up being like a fucked up person, a user, a clout chaser, and I would say even quote unquote a hoe. Or you want to say a hoe, because I don't know what a hoe is, but a woman who was very promiscuous, and I can't never pronounce that word. Promiscuous, and she even told me that she had sex with one of her friends' boyfriends for some money. But it wasn't her first time doing it. I can tell that. But just hearing that, I'm like, okay, if you feel so comfortable telling me that you did something with one of your very good friends, boyfriends, like it's okay, and I'm supposed to be your friend. So yeah, my fallback game was strong from her. But when she noticed that I was pretty much falling back from her and ignoring her, she started turning into a stalker. She's blowing my phone up, texting me. She was like, dang, like mad because I was ignoring her. And eventually turned into, you acting funny. Like you could tell she's getting mad, and and then it eventually turned into a narcissistic rage. She even went to Facebook and started saying stuff on Facebook Live about me. But which me being the person that I am, I know better than that. I ignored it, because if I pretty much react to her or give her any kind of attention, that's what she wants. She wanted to make it seem like she victimized, or like she arguing with me for attention. And like I said before, like I'm better than her, so why would I stoop to her level, like for no reason, especially anyway. So, but I'm not gonna get too deep into that. But in the end, she did the same thing. Love bomb, devalue, but she devalued me behind my back though. But when she see that I was trying to discard her, she went and try to devalue me and discard me on Facebook Live, which I thought was so hilarious. So I'm thinking to myself, typical narcissist. But yeah. And but as far as the, like, relationships and stuff, when you're dealing with people, especially relationships, I always tell people, don't let a person know everything about you in the beginning. Like, there's a word called stoic, Stoic. Like, being stoic means, like, to have some mystery to yourself, right? You can reply to questions people ask you without telling them the answer. You know what I mean? Like, especially nowadays, people think it's so easy to just jump in your inbox or go to a dating website and, like, look at your pictures and think they know you, right? They look at your profile, okay, single, divorced, whatever, age, occupation, all of that, and feel like, okay, they're pretty much sizing you up. But before social media, people had to actually get to know you, whether it be on a date or just multiple interactions, right? So I just say, like, with social media and with everything being so easy with communications, don't make it easy for a woman or a man to know everything about you, right? Little stuff, what's your favorite color, blah, 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 that's cool. But, them knowing about your exes. See, a narcissist, like I said, is like a robot. They're not like a normal person. So everything you're telling them, they put it into their computer system in order to use it against you or to become the perfect mate for you while they love bombing you. They want to be the perfect person for you. So, of course, they want to know everything about you. Whatever kind of woman they think you want, whatever kind of man they think you want, they will be that in the beginning. Perfect down to the T, right? But it's not real. They're only going by what you telling them. Like, so if you telling them how your exes was and how they did you wrong and things you hated about them, they are going to make sure they don't do or say those things. They're going to be perfect for you. But why is it important to be stoic? Because you are protecting yourself in the beginning from being vulnerable and a person knowing too much about you too soon, right? I'm not saying go around here being like stuck up, dry, and not, communicating with somebody, but it's just saying, like, take it slow and keep everything on a need to know basis. A narcissist might want to know, well, what kind of work you do, or you're trying to size you up for your occupation. But it's like, you could be mysterious and say, well, I work in the hospital. And they can say, well, what's your job title? And you can laugh it off and say, well, you'll know eventually, right? And any person who normal and patient should have a problem with that. Because why is that so important where I work at? If you want to get to know me, then let time pass. Let's date properly. Let's take our time and you get to know what I do. Stick around. Because otherwise it's like, why do you need to know so much information so soon? But some people make themselves an open book completely to the point where it don't work out in their favors, right? And I said not to be vulnerable, but let me tell you what I feel about the word vulnerable. To be vulnerable means to be open, right? And I think that everybody should be vulnerable, and they should not be guarded. Because when you're guarded, that means that nothing can come in, right? But when you guard it, you think about a gate. Nothing can flow out either, though. So you need to not be guarded, because you need things to be able to flow out that's bad and things that are good to be able to flow in. So it's not about being guarded. It's about being vulnerable and having healthy self-love, right? Because if you practice self-love, I'm talking about true self-love, not somebody just saying, I love myself, I'm confident. Not that. I'm talking about true, deep down self-love, where you know that you worked on yourself, whether it be therapy, self-improvement, however it might be. Truly healthy emotions, truly healthy self-love, and you're vulnerable. That means you're open. So that means whatever is good for you is going to be freely flowing to you because you're open for that. And whatever is bad for you is going to freely flow out. So I think that it's important for people to be vulnerable in a healthy way and to have a little mystery when they're dating, especially with a narcissist. Now, I can tell you another situation where I dated a professional athlete. He was retired, but he's a professional athlete. This dude loved by me. He's older than me, told me everything that I wanted to hear. And well, honestly, what he thought I wanted to hear, I'll say that. What he thought I wanted to hear. And um, it was a long distance relationship. But he was saying, like, when I was done with college, that we're going to get married. Now, I'm the kind of person that marriage was never on my bucket list. Like, never. I never planned a wedding. I never said, if I get married, this, and the third. The most I always said since I was a little girl, and I'm still kind of consistent with it, is that if I get married, I want my husband and I to live in separate houses. Which I know that's not, cool, but when I was younger, and up until more recently, I used to think that. But the narcissist told me that when I was done with school, we was gonna get married. It was long distance, so I went and saw him a couple of times. And one thing I noticed with narcissistic people, or people who, I'm gonna say narcissistic people, some of them have a fast cycle where they love bomb, devalue, discard, repeat. It might be within one day. It might be within a couple of days, a couple of weeks, every narcissist is not the same. But the narcissist that I dated, who was a retired football player, I would say that his narcissistic ways, because he's in his late 40s, he's older than me, in his late 40s. I would say that his narcissistic ways and his cycle was quick. It would be like within hours, he would love bomb me, then devalue me, then pretty much want to off me or get rid of me and, ignore me or whatever, and then be back, love bomb me again. And that is so draining. Do you know how emotionally, spiritually torturing that is to a person? Like, if you never dealt with a narcissist, it could be a narcissistic parent, a best friend, a lover, even a child. Your own child can do that to you. Make you feel like you're walking on eggshells because you don't know the next time where they're going to, you're going to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing for them to discard you or devalue you and put you through the pretty much toxic cycle of narcissism. It's just crazy. And even, I don't know. Yeah, people, I would say for like the last couple of years, people use the word narcissist for every little thing. Listen, a person can be an asshole. A person can be mean. A person can be blunt. And that does not make them a narcissist. And actually, based on the mental health, the true mental health diagnosis of narcissism has to come from a psychologist, psychiatrist, a specialist, right? A mental health specialist. But a person has to have at least 5 out of those 9 traits. Like extremely, like seriously have 5 out of the 9 traits in order to be considered a narcissist. But not just a narcissist though. It's something called narcissistic personality disorder, which means this person has a chronic, unhealthy, narcissistic personality, and it's never going to change. So when people call somebody a narcissist, they have to learn that that's not a word that they should really just throw around like every day, all day about people who just fucked up people, Understand the traits, understand how they behave, understand that they're not quote unquote normal, they're not healthy, and pretty much to try to avoid them once you notice it as much as possible. Try to avoid a narcissist if you can. And if you can't, then there are some words in narcissism, vocabulary, terminology that they use. One of them is called gray rock, which means that if you have to communicate with a narcissist or you can't avoid talking to them, then be like a rock. Be like a little gray rock and don't respond. Don't give them any kind of emotional response, whether it be facial expressions, body gestures. Don't give them no emotional expressions at all, period. And make your words dry. Make it to where the narcissist feel like, ugh, mad. Because the narcissist want to get some kind of reaction out of you. Right? Like I said, it could be good or bad. But as soon as you break and cuss them out, as soon as you break and like go off on them or show emotional, get mad and start yelling at them or just being emotional any kind of way, in the back of their mind, they're like, yeah, I got him or I got her. And they're probably laughing out loud or laughing in their head at you like, dummy. So, but I can go on and on, but on another episode 6 in November, I'm going to talk about narcissism, the history of narcissism. Where did it originate from? I'm going to go deeper into the traits and, we're going to talk more about it. But, I wanted to make this my first episode because I felt like this is a good introduction to the rest of my episodes, because the world we live in today, people are so ingenuine and superficial. Like, everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be rich. Not everybody, but I'm just saying everybody, but not everybody, but people don't just I just feel like talent, like real talent, real skills, real personalities aren't given the attention that they should versus somebody who thinks they're important that can get that kind of attention, And it's like, this world's kind of like thirsty for fame, thirsty for success. So, dating somebody in today's world, it could be a narcissist versus a narcissist, But like I said, ladies, gentlemen, whoever listening, never tell a person everything about you in the beginning, and try not to allow yourself to move too fast. Now, I will say some people naturally move fast and things do work out for them. That's good for some people. But if you find yourself in a relationship that you in, whether it be with a woman or a man, friendships or whatever, but I'm speaking specifically on relationships, that it's the same thing, like things move fast. You think the person is the one, and then you find yourself being uncomfortable emotionally. You find yourself being like pretty much fucked over quickly, or even if some time passed, but you feel like you keep on going in the same unhealthy narcissistic cycle with women or with men. Practice loving yourself more. Practice being selfish in a good way to make sure that whatever you're attracting is only what you're feeling that you truly deserve. Like, you truly deserve to be with somebody who genuinely want to connect with you, genuinely can give back to you what you give to them. Then take your time. Like, ain't no rush. And even people who do practice self-love and confidence and being careful when dating people, the narcissists are clever when it comes to manipulation. But if you notice like little red flags, you gotta pay attention to things and try not to move too fast. Red flags, like for me, even with the retired football player who I dated, his grandmother, we visit his grandmother in his hometown. His grandmother was hungry, and we sat over there for 3 hours talking to her. When we first got there, she said it was breakfast time. It was about 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. She said she was hungry so many times, and I started to feel uncomfortable. I'm like, the grandmother, she had to be like 80 years old, or maybe in her 70s, probably 80 years old. Kept saying she was hungry, and he just sat there calmly talking about everybody, talking about the latest news in town, and just as if she's not even saying she's hungry. Okay, it wasn't a red flag at that very moment right there, but it made me feel uncomfortable. But the red flag came when we left, and she said, "Bye. It was nice seeing you." And even though I didn't get no breakfast and I'm hungry, This lady had to be, like I said, in her late 70s or 80s. And she telling you she hungry. She haven't seen you in a long time and she hungry. But the kicker that made the red flag even bigger and brighter and more red was we left her house to go to an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet. And I'm saying to myself, wow, this is not normal. This is not, I'm laughing, but I'm like, no, this is not normal, right? But that goes back to one of those traits I mentioned earlier. I mentioned the traits of a narcissist not having true empathy. And pretty much everything they do is for their own selfish, you know, self-fulfillment, I would say, whatever, for their own selfish wants and needs and desires to make them feel good. So your grandma's starving, but we got an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet. And you rich, and you got money, and you got resources, and the whole city, town know who you are. It was just like, okay. I don't know. It's always so many red flags on narcissists, but they are liars. They lie about everything, and they will only do to you what you allow for them to do, and that's true for anybody, but especially the narcissists. Like, they know how to play you, and it's like you pretty much set the standards to, okay, she gonna let me do this, he gonna let me do this. I only can go this far with this person. You know, they always testing you, testing how you react to things. You know, just pretty much not good for you at all. And I feel like when a person has dated a narcissist or been in a long-term relationship with a narcissist, whether it be friendship or, like I said, I'm really talking about relationships mostly. Being married or into a relationship with a narcissist, it don't even have to be for a long time. It could be a short period of time. They will destroy a piece of you that you will have to, hopefully you can heal from it. Because one thing people don't know with narcissism, and this is true, many victims of narcissism suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Like, you have to literally find yourself again after dealing with a narcissist. If that's even possible. And it is, depending on the damage that was done. It's possible. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes some people will never be themselves again and never be able to date in a healthy, normal, quote unquote, normal relationship again after the narcissist, because they might have too many trust and fear issues, which was why I say therapy is very important. Even if you dealing with a narcissist, still, therapy might be the medicine to help you get away. I'll say get away. Because, you know, a person can tell you, girl, you need to leave him. Or, bro, she ain't no good. And you know the person ain't no good. You know the person make you feel like shit. You know the person have you walking on eggshells all day, every day. With making sure you be careful what you say and what you do. And it's just like, always wondering when the next blow up gonna be, or when the next time they gonna love bomb you, make you feel good. It's literally an emotional roller coaster. But no matter how many people tell you to leave a person, it's hard. It can be hard to leave a narcissist because they are very manipulative and they control your emotions very good based on the program that you gave them, the program that the robot narcissist downloaded from you from when they first met you and love bombed you. That's how they get their playbook. They get their playbook in the very beginning based on how you respond to what they say and what they do and how you move. They already know in the beginning if they're going to take it further with you. But a narcissist that's real close to me told me that people like him, which he's a self-proclaimed narcissist, he said people like him want to find the strongest and best woman and break her down. And he want to be in control of her emotions. He want to be in control of how she feel. And that's pretty much how they are. It's like with a narcissist, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you be nice to them, this is after, you know, the love bombing phase. If you be nice to them, eventually they're going to hate that too and talk about that and criticize that. But if you be mean to them, they're going to do the same thing. So it's like, you don't know when to be nice, when to be mean. You just always confused, wondering, how should I be? How can I make this person happy? It's nothing you can say or do. You can go to the moon and back. You can get this person a world. You can get them. You can do everything perfectly, like you think they want you to. But it's always going to be something a narcissist can put down. They always got a bag of tricks for you. A narcissist always has a bag of tricks for you. So, in order to outsmart the narcissist, you have to dig deep within yourself. Look in the mirror and say, you deserve better. I love you. We gonna get out of this. Or you know what? Look in the mirror and say, I love you. It's gonna get better. We are going to move on. We are going to have a healthy, fresh start. We are going to have healthy relationships. We are going to protect ourselves from anyone and anything that is not beneficial to us. And just keep saying it every single day. And keep practicing self-awareness and self-worth. Self-awareness is so important. Because so many people are just existing day to day and not even knowing, like, dang, I'm a real person. You know, you gotta look in the mirror sometime and just say your name, like, you know, Tasha. I love you, Tasha. Just like when you walking around in the grocery store, or maybe you probably don't want to do that in public though, say your name out loud in public. But every now and then, when you in the comfort of your home, just say your name out loud once a day to remind yourself that you are a real person with real feelings and a real connection in this world. Don't just be existing. Don't just be letting people pull your strings, you know, like you're a puppet. You count, like you matter. So it's not right what narcissists do to us, but we literally have the control. The true control come from us. And that's by completely cutting them off or minimizing the communication with them if possible. Because really, you the shit, you know? You are the shit, not the narcissist. The narcissist is jealous of you. Jealous because you can smile, you can laugh, you can cry. You have real emotions. People like you for real, you know? And they don't know how to have true human interactions. They are jealous of you and your success. Jealous of you and your goals and your ambitions. Like the nerves of you to be normal, right? So, unless the narcissist can put their name on it and say that I helped him do this, I helped her do this, you was nothing without me, or whatever the case might be, then they don't want to be a part of your story if they can't control it or make themselves look better in it. But it's something called an empath, and people who are empathetic, narcissists prey on. People who are very forgiving, people who are very vulnerable in a not so healthy way. People who are always being so helpful, loving, positive, cheering. The narcissists gravitate to manipulate and use. But deep down inside, the narcissist hates, despise, those people who are sweet, loving, caring, normal, healthy, emotional people. Narcissists hate. But you will see when time passes how you thought you couldn't get away from that person, whether it be a narcissistic lover, narcissistic friend, narcissistic boss at work, narcissistic parents or family members. Cut their ass off. It might not be easy, but in time, you will have like so many bricks lifted off your stomach and your back. You'll be able to take a full deep breath and actually take a lot of deep breaths and just feel good. Like a sigh of relief. And I know it's not going to be easy. It's not easy for everybody. Some it is. But for those who it's not easy for, understand that a narcissist, in my opinion, and this might even be a true medical opinion, is like a pedophile. They cannot be cured. There is no cure for narcissism. There is no cure for pedophilia. These are sicknesses, mental illnesses. So I hope you enjoyed this discussion, and I wish you the best. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Bye, cousins. Hello. Hey, cuz, girl, you need to come over here. I got something to tell you. Come over my house. Come over now. Hello. Hey, cuz, girl, you need to come over here. I got something to tell you. Come over my house. Come over now.